in advance, there is a lot of cussing. It's natural. It's a natural habit for me to cuss. I'm sorry, but yeah. Hey guys, it's Vic, and I'm sorry I haven't posted anything in the past 2 weeks. I've been busy this summer with Netflix, of course. But anyway, I finally uploaded something, obviously. This story is mainly going to be about my coming out story and ideas for coming out. I'm sorry this video most likely won't be edited because I'm recording this on my iPad. Anyway, so I came out this February to my mom. My plan, it was like 2 weeks after my birthday, and what I had planned was that, because my dad was going on tour and he was going to be in Europe, so I decided that I didn't know what his ideas on like LGBT plus people were at all, but I knew my mom, she accepted gays and lesbians, all that. I didn't know how she felt about like people that were transgender or gender fluid or gender identity, but I knew she was like 100% cool with people's sexualities and she didn't care about it. So what I did, I was afraid of confronting her, so I wrote a letter and it was like a page long. I know she still has it. And yeah, I wrote a letter and I left it where she would find it in the morning before I left for school. And then when I came home and shit, and I knew she was gonna see it, and I knew she read it, and like it took her 3 days. Like she didn't like talk to me as much, but it's not like we ever really talked much. But it took her like 3 days to actually say something about it. And after about 3 days, I came upstairs one night and my brother was asleep because I was just going to get a glass of water. And as soon as I was going back downstairs to my room, she came up to me. She's like, "I'm not gonna like." It was somewhat along the lines of, "I'm not gonna like." She basically said, "I'm not gonna accept you," and that she's like, "You're a girl and you're not getting surgery. I'm not gonna let you get surgery or whatever. And I've known you for so and so years as a girl and as my birth name. And I'm gonna keep calling you a girl and I don't care." And so she was totally being a fucking transphobic bitch right there. And it really pissed me off. And I went straight to my room and fucking ignored her for like at least a month or something. And then what shocked me was, so my dad, he was going to be gone for a while on tour, and I found out a few days later, or the next week, he'd be coming back in town for one day. And when that happened, she showed my dad the letter, which I was really scared, and I didn't even know if she'd do that. I never expected it. And what ended up happening, like, my dad, I guess he was like somewhat okay with it, but he wouldn't call me the correct name or pronouns. But like, he came down to my room and he talked to me about it and shit. But he called me like the man of the house when he's gone, but like that's the only thing he'll do. But anyway, yeah. And like my little brother, he knows about it too. Or like he doesn't know I'm transgender, but he knows I prefer to be called a boy, and I like to be called Vance because it's my name. But like he'll tease me about it. But anyway, here are some ideas of like how to come out to your parents if you're not sure how they'll react to it. Or to your friends or whoever. My first idea, or the first thing you should probably do, is like when you're in a conversation or whatever, try and like slowly bring it up into the conversation. Or like with Caitlyn Jenner, try and bring her up into the conversation and see what they think about Caitlyn Jenner, and then you can like immediately go into LGBT plus people and see what they think about it. And then maybe if like they're not saying Caitlyn Jenner is a guy, Caitlyn Jenner is Bruce Jenner and all that shit, or if you're talking about that, then like that's probably the obvious point when you're gonna think they're not gonna accept me or something like that. But if they are seeming okay with it, or like they really accept it and shit, you could be like, what if I was LGBT related, and like, if you want, or whatever, or in a later conversation later that week or later on, you could tell them, like, slowly bring the topic up that you were gay, trans, gender fluid, whatever you are. But yeah. But if you're okay, if you, the person you're telling is okay with LGBT plus people, or you don't exactly know how they'll react to it, or they're whatever. But if you're like afraid to come out to them in person, you could write them a letter. It could be short or whatever, you know. If you're afraid to confront them about it, or another way, I honestly don't know. But yeah, I'd say the most common and easiest ways to come out would be through like slowly bringing up the conversation and like telling them about it, or through a letter. But if you're like 50% sure or even more that your parents are like won't accept you, and like they'll get really pissed about it, and you're not afraid, and you're afraid they'll kick you out or something about it. If you're afraid they'll kick you out of the house, or something bad will happen to you for your parents. But for that, if you're coming out to your parents and you're afraid, or you know they'll kick you out, wait until you're 16, because when you're 16, you can legally get your own house and live without your parents, and you can't. But at 16, like, they have to sign a form to let you live without them, or else just wait till you're 18 and you can afford your own place, or even try and find out if you can crash at a friend's house or something. But if it's your friends who you're afraid to come out to, like, wait until like you have the courage to tell them, of course, and just tell them. And if they don't accept it, then fuck them, because they're not real friends. I had like 2 friends like that. Like, one of them, it was during lunch at school, where we had to like walk outside when we finished. And so I was walking around, and like he came up, some bullshit, you know, in school. He came up with this one dude. He said to the dude, to me, he's like, "Would you date this person?" And the guy was like, "No, that's a guy." And I'm like, he noticed me as a guy. Whatever. But then the other dude, who I knew since like 6th grade, he was like, "That's a girl," and all that shit. I'm like, "No, bitch, I'm a guy." And then he's like, "What? I thought you were a girl." I'm like, "Bitch, I am a guy. Shut the fuck up." And then I walked away, and then he came up to me, and I'm like, "Just shut the fuck up and leave me alone. I'm transgender, okay? Now fuck off." And then like he never talked to me again, thank God, except once. But then I got him the fuck off. And then the other one is a friend I've known since 2nd grade, but we've been friends since like 5th grade. Like, I told her I was transgender, and like I guess she was okay with it, but she still uses the she pronouns. But I have a nickname I go by with lots of people, Wolfie, and she uses that around me, which I guess is better than my parents for sure. But yeah, and sure, if your friends don't accept you, fuck them. They're not real friends. And I guess this is the end of the video. So I'll try and upload something later this week, or next. Yeah, I'll try and upload something next week. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a good rest of the week and everything. Sure to like, comment, and subscribe.